We've been doing video for about 4.5 years on nytimes.com. And we've always done enterprise kind of feature type of video. That's what, that's our background, kind of documentary style in the field with the reporters, which is great when, for kind of our longer term enterprise analytical pieces. But we had a real appetite to do more news. And so about a year ago, we started trying to do, different ways of doing news on a daily basis. And all the different experiments we tried were rather frustrating. We couldn't really get a daily, news presence on the site. And so last fall we said, okay, we're gonna invent a show that actually allows us to do breaking news every day.
Welcome to Wednesday's edition of TimesCast. Possible criminal charges in the church abuse scandal. Social Security crosses an ominous threshold. Social networking sites and teenage violence.
We immediately realized that we're not MSNBC and CNN. We don't have that kind of infrastructure. We don't have anchors. So we thought, okay, let's not try to be a news network. So the idea of the show is, this is what the New York Times is following today. These are the stories we're following, and this is why.
Foreign has the big story of the moment right now. This is the Global Edition homepage. So let me start with Ian to talk about the latest in the Catholic Church news.
First off, from Nick Coolish in Munich, the Munich prosecutor's office is looking at charges against the priest who is at the center of the scandal there, a case that Pope Benedict, then when he was Cardinal Ratzinger, clearly at least knew about.
We wanted to talk to the editors, so every day you talk to hear Jim Roberts or Bill Keller talking about kind of the top stories of the day, and then we do 2 different segments with usually an editor and a reporter talking about, specific stories that they're working on.
So what other big stories are we following right now?
Yeah, one of the things that I'm most interested in is a story about Social Security that Mary Williams Walsh is doing, just on how it seems that the Social Security system has reached this tipping point where it is starting to actually pay out more in benefits than it's taking in cash and revenue.
We thought this might happen eventually.
Eventually, but it's happening apparently much, much sooner than anyone expected, in part because of the the economic downturn over the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm. People in this organization now understand that you've got to figure out different ways of presenting our journalism and presenting the organization. And so I think that the newsroom is much more open than it ever has been to different kinds of ideas of how to do that. And they're also much more used to video. They're used to being, first of all of our reporters and editors there hasn't been a camera in the Page One meeting, but they've all been on camera for us in various ways, in various stories. They're all over all the other television networks. So I think that Times editors and reporters, as opposed to even 4 or 5 years ago, are more comfortable with the idea of video and being on video. And so I think that that self-consciousness has gone away. And then using the newsroom, kind of what we realize is the newsroom is this beautiful, our new newsroom is this beautiful place. And so why not use it as a set and a backdrop for the kind of video programming that we're doing?
What teenagers are doing are using social networking websites and text messaging to get crowds going, and then they're preying on all kinds of people in the city of Philadelphia. This hasn't happened like this in any other cities, so that's why the authorities are taking action today.